The Dallas Cowboys, in that situation, run something a certain way. Now, there are a million rules in the NFL. They're Byzantine, meaning complex, and they're ins and outs. And on any given play, there could be some rules infraction. So if you don't call it on one play, then don't call it on the next play simply because the other team reacted to it. Really, that was the difference. Washington reacted. You thought, oh, offsides. Oh, no, the only reason you thought offsides is because of the snap? No. It was the same thing on consecutive plays. The second time Dallas got called for it, it cost them 5 yards. The kick hit the upright. The ball hit the upright. Would have been good from 47. Wasn't good from 52. In the world of sports, that's enough for us to say the Cowboys did get robbed.
I don't want to hear that nonsense. They didn't get robbed. First of all, they're the Dallas Cowboys, and what can go wrong will go wrong. It usually does go wrong. At least that's been the case for the last quarter century pretty much, and that's point number one. Point number two is what happened a few minutes earlier. I believe it was at approximately 4:55 left in the fourth quarter. The Redskins are up 13-10, and Dak Prescott holds on to the ball too long. Yeah. Ultimately tries to evade a tackler, gets stripped, sacked, and Preston Smith recovers the ball for a touchdown. You cannot make that mistake in a game this tight in the fourth quarter. First of all, should be making it at any time, but especially at that particular juncture. If Dak Prescott doesn't get strip sacked and the Redskins doesn't recover, they don't recover in the end zone, and it's a touchdown, excuse me, you're punting the football, they might not score, and guess what? You still got an opportunity to win this football game. Dak Prescott, I like Dak Prescott. I'm just talking about the game itself. Dak Prescott, you can make a legitimate argument that he lost this game more than the referees and their bogus call. It was a bogus call because the snapper did the same thing on the ensuing play after the penalty was called and didn't get cited for it. And so clearly it shouldn't have been called the first time. We know it was the wrong call by the official. But if you're the Dallas Cowboys, all right, you don't have any business, if you're Dak Prescott, allowing a mistake like that to happen. And that's what he did. And that's what blew this game for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well,
Not some long snapper and a 5-yard penalty.
Hold your thoughts for 1 minute, because Will Cain is here, joins the debate desk. Will, good morning.
It's a morning. It's not a good one.
There you are.
It is a morning.
Will, we want to hear from you on this. What's your thoughts?
All right, the Cowboys did get robbed. But they didn't get robbed by the referees, and they didn't get robbed by Dak Prescott. Both of you are right, Max and Stephen A. Max, you're absolutely right. It was a completely BS call. From start to finish, Stephen A points out, LP Ladouceur, the deep snapper, did the exact same thing on the play following. Just like he's been doing the exact same thing for 14 years. And now all of a sudden, here, 14 years into his career, it's a penalty. Nonsense. And Stephen A., you're right. Dak is costing the Cowboys. And I don't even care about that play. I don't care about that fumble along the end zone. I mean, I care about it. But the truth of the matter is, what really concerns me is Dak not hitting wide receivers one-on-one when the defense is loading up the box to stop Zeke. There are play after play after plays in these games where Dak can be hitting it deep. Maybe not as wide open as Michael Gallup was on that one big touchdown, but still, they're there for him to see and take. But here's how the Cowboys got robbed, and here's what matters. The Cowboys got robbed by their head coach, Jason Garrett, again. For the second time in 3 weeks, we are watching a guy play for mediocrity, play to avoid losing. They had 12 seconds on the clock and a timeout. And what did the Cowboys do? What did Jason Garrett do? Run the ball to set up not just a field goal, but a long field goal, a 47-yard field goal. Tony Romo, who should be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, is in the booth calling the game, wondering what is going on. This run the ball, run out. You know what Jason Garrett did? He said, let's run out the clock and ice our own kicker. That's what he did. He played for a tie. And when you play for a tie, you at best tie and more likely lose. He did not take any shots to the end zone. He did not take any shots downfield. He did not try to win. He tried to tie. And that's a loser's move. Losers lose.
Well, listen. Stephen A. says even a dead clock is right twice a day. I say, a monkey, you leave him long enough, he'll type Shakespeare. At least you just got Marlowe, if not Shakespeare there. You're exactly right. Playing not to lose is not the same as playing to win. And if you're a mediocre team, which the Dallas Cowboys are, that means they're in 8-8 range. If they get a little lucky, 10-6. A little unlucky, 6-10. fortune favors the bold. The only way the Cowboys would make the playoffs, and it may backfire, but the chance they have is to be bold. The chance they have to be 4-3 rather than 3-4 right now is to be bold. And if they play not to lose in those 50-50 kind of games, they will surely not make the playoffs. I like the point.
Listen, I'm going to go back to what Will said. I mean, listen, just a few days ago, we discussed Jerry Jones and him praising Dak Prescott to the degree that he did. It was long overdue in some people's eyes, including mine. It was about time. Dak Prescott did him no favors yesterday. The Washington Redskins and Jay Gruden, who's doing a good job this year, he's doing a decent job this year. Got to give credit where credit is due. But you talk about loading the box. They not only had 7, 8 men in the box most of the time. There were times yesterday they had 10 men in the box, daring Dak Prescott to throw the football. And he couldn't hit open receivers. Couldn't do it. And so to me, on a day like today, when you combine that with the strip sack and the fumble that was recovered by Preston Smith in the end zone to ultimately propel the Redskins to victory, in my estimation, I think it's one of those situations where we're looking at Dak Prescott right now and we're hearing him talk about confidence in the team and we're in a good place. We believe in ourselves. We got a bye week coming up. We're going to prepare, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's one of those things where it's a gut check time. You got to look yourself in the mirror and really ask yourself about what is the role of a quarterback? What is he supposed to do on that football field? And am I doing it? Because if they load 10 men in a box and they're daring you to throw in one-on-one coverage, what does that say about you that you can't find dudes?